Yo, welcome to the very first episode of the Pepper and Salt podcast. I'm Gideon Bradley. I'm here with.
Hey, I'm Barry Goboy.
We're here to talk about some NFL, college football, boxing, games, everything that you like watching. And yeah, we're really excited to get into this first episode. I think the first thing we'll talk about is frontrunners for MVP. We've already talked about this. I said my first three were Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. I'll start with Tom Brady first because at age 44, he threw what, 5 touchdowns? Threw a lot of touchdowns.
A game?
Yeah, a game. Yeah, against the Dolphins, which is a decent defense, but he played really good. Lamar Jackson played really good in that overtime win against the Colts.
What do you have, like 440 yards out of their 470 yards?
Great completion percentage. He played absolutely amazing. And then Justin Herbert, I mean, him and the Chargers, first in the division. Chargers first in the division. Never thought I would say that with the Chiefs in that division, but Chargers are the first in the division, led by Justin Herbert.
Yeah, we're gonna say Chiefs probably not gonna hit that 17-0 this year.
Probably not. Yeah,
Probably not.
So.
Probably not.
But yeah, it's been a lot of really good play. Who's your top three?
Top three. I mean, personally, I gotta go Josh Allen. I mean, he's the heart and soul of the Bills. I mean, without him, the Bills aren't going nowhere. So, to me, MVP is, can that team succeed without that player?
Yeah.
In any form or fashion. And the Bills, absolutely not. Let's just be honest. Next, got to be Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
they're picking up running backs off the street. And Lamar accounts for, 95% of your offense in a game?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Throws for, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns.
No longer running back.
No longer running back. I'm the first one to tell you I'm going to shut up after that game. I mean, he showed everybody what he's about in that one. And now it's time for hot takes. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready for a hot take?
Ready.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. He's not I know. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
But could the Titans do anything without him on offense?
I don't think so. Derrick
Is
Henry,
he the absolute best at his position in the league?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even close. Coming off 2,000-yard season and not even a vote for MVP?
I think he should definitely receive a couple of votes for MVP. 2,000 yards, won multiple games for them.
Come on, man.
Continued to winning multiple games for them this season.
Come on, man.
He's playing great football as well.
Absolutely. I mean, some people might call that a hot take, but I don't think so. That dude's out of control. He's on another level.
Speaking about Derrick Henry and Tennessee Titans, y'all play the Bills, led by Josh Allen. How do you see that game going down?
I'm terrified. I'm being perfectly honest. I know we're getting a lot of players back from injury, so it's going to all come down to that defense.
Yeah.
They played them last year, ran them out the building,
Yeah.
and we're not supposed to win that game either. So the
Definitely
Titans,
ran them out. Yeah, ran them out, yes.
the Titans do a great job of making me angry because we like to play down to our competition, and then when the game's on the line and we're playing a team that we shouldn't beat, we're absolutely coming with the heat. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know, and I'm kind of upset. I have to wait all the way till Monday night to find out. I'm gonna have to worry about it.
Game?
I'm gonna have to worry about it the entire time until Monday night.
That's gonna be a good game. With that game, the Bills, in my opinion, are the best overall team in the league right now. I feel like they're clicking. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs look really good. Defense is playing really good. But the one thing that I always say about the Titans, you just got to feed Derrick Henry the ball in the third and fourth quarter.
Sure.
If you can get him in that second half of the game, running like he did against Seattle, running like he did, basically all season. He's been playing great all season.
Dude, it's like another level.
Yeah.
After halftime, it's over.
Yeah.
If you're not up by 20, you better watch out.
He plays really good football in those last quarters. So with that, I say Derrick Henry gets 20, 30 carries a game. Titans can win this game, but they got to be able to slow down the Bills' offense. And if they can slow down the Bills' offense, which will be hard with the defense, I think they can win the game. It's going to be a good game for Monday Night Football.
For sure. All right, man. We're gonna move on to our next thing. So we're gonna go with some contenders and pretenders. So let's say top 3 contenders. Contenders right now this week.
Right now, what I've seen, I'm going Bills, Packers, Chargers. Give me the Chargers. And I say this because the Chargers, especially in their division right now, doesn't look good for the Chiefs. I think they're a lock for the playoffs. Honestly, in like 4 or 5 games, I think they're a lock for the playoffs. I don't think the Chiefs can do anything different now. I mean, I feel like they're figured out. And then Bills, like I said, playing great football. And who's my last one? Oh, Packers. Ever since that first week where everyone's like, Aaron Rodgers is throwing games. Aaron Rodgers this, Aaron Rodgers this. I was saying the same thing. I don't know, fantasy. I was getting pissed too. But after that, Aaron Rodgers has been playing amazing football. The Packers have been playing amazing football. I definitely think they're my top 3 contenders. What about you?
For me, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. The way that Arizona's playing right now, I know you don't want me to say this.
Let's stop talking about that.
Okay, but Arizona's playing lights out right now, man, on both sides of the ball. Kyler Murray is playing out of his mind, and the game he didn't play out of his mind, his defense rolled right in behind him and picked him up.
Yeah.
And that team, for me, man, is absolutely, on both sides of the ball, probably the most complete team in the NFL, personally. And I think it's hard to not look at them as a contender for sure. I know that they have that history of they'll be good the first 6 or 7 games and then they fall off towards the end. I don't see that happening this year unless there's some kind of injury or something else that happens. I don't think they're falling off this year. I know the Chiefs are struggling right now, but man, watch out for them.
You still got the Chiefs up there?
Dude, they've lost a bunch of games in really fluky ways, and I think they're going to make a push the second half of the season. And I think they're going to be trouble for everybody involved. And the Browns, bro.
Yeah,
the Browns are legit.
Browns playing good
for sure.
Can they win with Baker though?
I think they can win with Baker. I mean, I do. I mean, is he going to make a mistake here and there? Yeah. But does he have the skill level to get you through and get you to the playoffs? Absolutely. And that defensive line,
Myles Garrett.
If they play to half of their potential, the Browns should go deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because people say Baker Mayfield makes a lot of mistakes, throws a lot of picks. I mean, look at a guy like Brett Favre. He made a lot of questionable plays. He threw a lot of interceptions. With the Vikings, the Packers, the Vikings almost made the Super Bowl one year, and the Packers, they did make a Super Bowl. They won a couple of Super Bowls. So I think Baker Mayfield, it's just I think he's going to start catching his stride because he finally has a reliable coach. I mean, his first 2 seasons, he bounced from a coach to another coach. The Browns have finally got in a position where they have a good coach, they have a good team, and they've only lost 1 game to the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they got that culture, and they barely lost that game.
Yeah, barely lost that game.
But I think that their coach has absolutely changed the culture there. I mean, he's turned them around, man. Like, they were the lovable losers forever. They were right there with the Lions, and they are not lovable losers anymore. But I know you're talking about the Packers, so let's roll to our next topic.
A-Rod.
What do we think? We think Rodgers is going to be a Packer next year?
Yes. I think Aaron Rodgers will retire a Packer. I think it's a much different situation than Brett Favre's situation with the Packers. I think if Aaron Rodgers really wanted to leave the Packers, I think it would have been this season. I think he would have left this season. There was so much tension between him and the front office because it's never been the team. It's always been him and the front office. I've always never been able to have that relationship that you want your star player to have. And I think Aaron Rodgers will eventually, because I think the main thing that's had him angry, that made him most angry, was when they drafted Jordan Love and didn't even tell him. They drafted Jordan Love and didn't even have the respect to Aaron Rodgers to even tell him that's what they were going to do.
But they drafted a quarterback, and was that not his MVP season?
No, then he went and had an MVP season.
Okay. So what I feel is going to happen is A-Rod's out.
Wow.
Deuces.
Pittsburgh?
Gone. I don't know where. I have no idea, but I have a feeling it will not be with Green Bay. I feel like that bridge has been burned so far to the ground. And I literally think he came back to fulfill his obligation because he had to, and he's gone. Like, I think he's out. I think he checked out last year, and he's playing great. And I don't think it's anything to say that he's not playing well, but I don't think he's happy there. And I think that he knows that he negotiated a way to get his way out of there. And I think that he's going to hit that ejector button and take his chances somewhere else to show everybody that he can be that guy anywhere.
Well, he's up there already. I mean, how many? I mean, we're seeing quarterbacks play longer than they have ever before. With Tom Brady at 44 still playing, saying he wants to continue to keep on playing. I would say Aaron Rodgers still has Aaron Rodgers-like seasons in him. So maybe like 3 to 4 more seasons with a different team would be interesting. It'd be really interesting. I hope he goes to the Vikings. That would be great if he went to the Vikings.
There's no way he's pulling a Favre, bro.
But look at that team. That team is a quarterback away.
You're right. You're right.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, David Cook. Oh my, that's one of the best offenses in the league.
You're not wrong.
Not a bad defense either. That would be interesting. And he wants to play the Packers twice a year. I think he would want to do that.
How much are they into their quarterback for?
Oh, Captain Kirk.
Yeah, his contract's like $11.4 billion, right?
I mean,
I gave that man like a planet or something.
I don't know. Cut him. Let him go. Bye. Get A-Rod.
Take the cap hit. Cut him.
Take the cap hit.
Get out of here. I think Rodgers to the Broncos when I heard it.
Sounded good.
Sounds amazing. Because to be honest with you, I feel like that team's a quarterback away too. They've really developed their wide receiver talent, their running back talent. That's a good team. They just don't have, don't get me wrong, Teddy B, game manager, I guess, when he's not hurt.
That's right.
It's like, come on, man. The stability you could get from Aaron Rodgers, that team would be a contender in the West.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
As soon as any team he steps onto. Look at the Steelers, like you said. Bro, I know he's winking at Tomlin and all that.
He is winking at Tomlin.
But, bro, that team with Rodgers back there,
they
ain't losing that division this year, or they're definitely contending for it.
Yeah.
And they're definitely probably a lock for a wild card if they don't win the division.
Yeah.
Because it's a totally different team.
Yeah. Well.
But I don't know if he's going there with that O-line, because that O-line's a hot mess.
Yeah. Speaking of the Steelers, Seahawks play the Steelers this week.
Oh, yeah.
As a Seahawks fan, I've already checked out. I mean, season's over.
This is your win right here, bud.
This is not our win. This is not our win. This is not our win. The defense is their defense is too good for this to be a win. Without Russell Wilson, we're not winning. It's gonna be hard for us to win a game this season. Russell Wilson keeps us in games. Russell Wilson is our team. And we have a lot of talent. We have so much talent. Look at the offense. DK Metcalf. I mean, he's just such a good player. He does everything we need him to do. Does he get a little aggressive sometimes? Yes. Can he cost us a game sometimes with his penalties? Yes. But he is a freak of nature. He is like 250, runs a 4.3, and is really developing his route running. Did you see him cook Ramsey on that one play?
I did see him cook Ramsey. I mean, for me, the Buddha play, bro, like, I know that's not this year. That's one of the most ridiculously athletic things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, shows a lot of heart out of him. And then we've got Tyler Lockett. It's been such an underrated player because he's been so good for us for so long. And I feel like he doesn't get enough recognition.
It has been a while. Can you tell by his?
Yeah, you can't tell by his hair.
Yeah, okay.
He was bald when we drafted him. He did get some recognition with that contract, that 4-year, $100-something million contract. We gave him a decent amount. But he's worth it. I mean, him and Russell are like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, the best combo in the league. But we can't have the best combo in the league because our offensive line. And that play wasn't their fault. That play wasn't their fault. But there was a lot more plays that happened in that game where Russell Wilson needed more protection. And I don't even want to talk about the defense because it makes me angry. I mean, but I will talk about the defense because I want to start with Jamal Adams because I see a lot of people coming at him. When we drafted him, we should have known he's not your traditional strong safety.
Remember, you didn't draft him. You traded him.
Oh, did I say drafted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Traded
that's because I have draft on the mind because we don't have a draft pick.
Got it. Okay.
When we drafted him, not drafted him. See, I'm still on it. I'm still on it.
You didn't
do it. When we traded for him with 2 first-round picks, when we traded for him, we should have known that we cannot play him like a regular strong safety. It's like Christian McCaffrey. He's not your average running back. He can catch. He's good at more things than what he's supposed to be. What he's supposed to be good at. Jamal Adams, great tackler. Amazing, spectacular at getting into the quarterback. 9 sacks as a strong safety.
That's insane.
I don't care what anyone says. Blitz boy this, blitz boy that. He has 9 sacks. Why are we dropping him back in coverage every single play? Are you serious?
Maybe it's because y'all had Trey Flowers, but he's gone now. So
Thank God. that made my day yesterday.
at least there's that.
Trey Flowers being gone is amazing. Sidney Jones stepped in, though, and looked just as bad. Robert Woods is running a curl, catching it, and you can see in his eyes, oh, my God, there's no one there. I'm going to run for 15 yards, and he did it every single catch.
He gone.
Cooper Kupp, I mean, that play doesn't make me as angry because it was a bad throw by Matthew Stafford, so he came back to the ball, but Jamal Adams needs to be able to locate the ball. You're all the way out there. You should be able to come back and make a play on that ball. Because there was 2 of you. One of you should have been able to make the play. I don't know how no one makes the play on that, but that's in the past. The Steelers are in front of us. We're not getting it done. We're just not getting it done. Not without Russell, and not how this defense is playing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say this. Russell's down. What's your win total while Russ is out to say you're still in it? What's Geno got to do? How many wins?
So I'm thinking of our schedule. I know we play the Jaguars. I know we'll probably play the Texans sometime, but I don't know when Russell Wilson's going to come back. Personally, I won't play him. I won't play him. We're not winning the division. We're not making a playoff spot.
I thought he's supposed to be back, 6 to 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks, and then there was some saying 4. We don't know exactly when, because he didn't want to come earlier. He's such a loyal guy for us. He's the guy in Seattle, and I think we're able to barely edge out the Jaguars, and I think maybe we can beat the Steelers by grace of God. Because Geno Smith played good. Don't get me wrong, Geno Smith played good, but most backup quarterbacks when they come to the game, they do play good. So I'm not one of those that can be like, whew, we need to start rebuilding around Geno. That's our quarterback. No, and don't even get me started about Cam Newton. Just no, not Cam.
Geno down the Cam talk right now.
Geno Smith can get the job done. I don't think he can be able to score with how many points the defense is going to let up, though.
That's a good point for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's take that into our next topic. We are going to talk some college football now.
Oh, yeah.
So, first question, and I know it's got to be everybody's question at this point after last weekend, is Alabama still the best team in the country?
Yes. I mean, that game, Texas was just hollering at Bryce Love. I mean, he couldn't even look up. He was getting absolutely hollered at. But I think they're going to bounce back. They always seem to do. They always seem to be there with Nick Saban. I think they're still the best team. I mean, their wide receivers played great. He was making most of the throws. It was just he needed to get the ball out quicker. But I still think Alabama's the best team. I still think they are.
Yeah, and I think your question mark's quarterback, man. I really do. I think
it's quarterback?
I do.
It's interesting.
It's quarterback question for sure. Because, I mean, some of the decisions, the timing on that, when you need to get out of the pocket, I think he just needs to develop a little more.
He's a freshman.
And also, Alabama quarterbacks. I mean,
Mac Jones.
So far, we'll see.
Jalen Hurts, but
still jury's still out on that one too.
Tango.
We're gonna go to a Tango Taka Taka.
I don't think we are.
No, we're not. We're gonna stay out of that. That's a trap. That's just what I'm saying, man. Look, I don't think Nick Saban develops quarterbacks. Nick Saban uses quarterbacks in any way to win.
I think he develops everything but quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Great wide receivers coming out of there. Great running backs, especially great running backs. Great defense players.
But I feel like the SEC is catching up to him a little bit.
Georgia.
Georgia's a powerhouse, and I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see that game.
Come on, man.
Interesting game.
Georgia's legit, and Florida gave them all they wanted.
Absolutely, yeah.
Through basically 3/4 of the game?
Yeah, that Florida game was really, really interesting.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I feel like the other teams in the SEC are catching up. Yeah. I ain't gonna say Tennessee, not yet, but I do feel like Heupel's got something going down there. I feel like they scored over 50 points. They put like 65 on Missouri.
Put a lot of points.
Missouri's trash, but still,
that's easy.
You put 65 points on another college team that's in your division. They got their defensive coordinator fired, bro.
Yeah,
that's legit. Like, you're tearing somebody up.
Yeah.
So I feel like the SEC's catching up. I I feel like it's in the coaching ranks that it's catching up. Because I feel like these coaches can recruit now. I mean, Saban's still the guy, but is he losing a step? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe these ranks are closing and wait until Oklahoma and Texas show up in the SEC. I mean, they can recruit with the best of them too.
Yeah.
So the SEC is about to be a murderer's row, man. Like,
be really interesting.
I mean, because all these teams are going to have to play each other. It's going to be like the Super Soccer Conference? I mean, whatever that was. Like, dude, where are you going to want to go?
It's going to be a must-win game every week.
Every week, bro. And every game matters. You're not going to be playing North Carolina A&M, Roger Dodger Vector Victor.com coming in here your first week. No, dude.
Yeah.
When you're on that 12, 14 game SEC schedule, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, well,
but that's going to be good TV right there, man.
Yeah, well, speaking of Oklahoma coming over to the SEC, their team's interesting. Oklahoma is very interesting. Are they the worst undefeated team right now?
I don't know because they just changed their quarterback, so we're about to find out.
We are going to find out. He played really good. He came in and tore him up.
Rattler got full-blown snake bit, bro. It's over.
Well, he was getting bit every week by the fans. They didn't want him either.
Go ahead and warm up the transfer portal. Yeah. It's coming in hot.
Do you think he should transfer?
Absolutely. I feel like if you don't have a chance there, what's the point in staying? If you feel like, and before the season, this dude was slated to be a first-round draft pick
and the
Heisman.
Yeah.
And now you're benched on your own team. You can't even win the spot on your own team.
Yeah.
You got to go somewhere, dude.
He does.
You got to reinvent yourself, man. You got to get out of there.
I think he can go mostly anywhere he wants. He is a good player. He just, dare I say, he looks rattled.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think he should definitely try somewhere else because I think they are going to move on with that quarterback the next week.
Yeah, I already saw a report about it today.
Yeah.
Well, Lincoln Riley kicked everybody out, but, yeah, the other guy's getting all the first-team snaps now. So, it's over, dude. You're done.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
For sure.
Especially with such a good play. I mean, in high school. I mean, in high school, he was lining them up. And then, you had flashes of last year when he would come in when Oklahoma was winning by a lot and looked good. But, it just hasn't looked anything special in those games. I think that's what led to him getting benched.
Yeah. Hey, man. That's what happens. I mean, they're going to go with the best guy. It don't matter it's not what have you done for me? It's what have you done for me lately? And lately, he has not looked great. He's making bad decisions, throwing interceptions, costly turnovers, and I feel like that may be part of what's holding Oklahoma down. I feel like if you get a more dynamic playmaker in their quarterback, they don't look like the worst undefeated team anymore.
Yeah.
So it's all about getting to that 14 playoff, bro. And if somebody else is going to get you there, there will be no loyalty from your team or your coach, I assure you.
Yeah. Look at you right out.
So, all right, man, we're going to move on to our next topic, the NBA. And there has been some interesting stuff going on in the NBA. Let's start with Kyrie, man. We gotta.
Might as well. I mean, he's the most interesting thing right now.
We gotta get in it, man. Like,
I'll say this about Kyrie. Kyrie is a great basketball player. First off, I mean, he's such a good basketball player, but it gets overshadowed by some of the questionable things he does. Was him just leaving the Nets last year? Was that bad? Was it a bad look on him? Yes. But that was, I mean, he was trying to work on himself or whatever he said. But he did just leave for, 12, 14, 16, 20 games?
Yeah, just rolled out.
And then this year, because I'm pretty sure what the main thing is you have to be vaccinated in New York to play or to play any sport, is it?
The thing is the NBA is following all the rules for whatever city you're in. Okay. So in New York, it's mandatory for you to be vaccinated to basically do anything in the city. I mean, go out to eat, do anything, you have to be vaccinated. You have to provide proof of vaccination. So any players have to follow whatever rules their home city is following. So,
which means, as most people know, is he couldn't play home games if he doesn't get vaccinated. So he basically is saying, I'll just play away games. And I don't think the Nets are particularly happy with him not following that, as get people like KD and James Harden doing that already. Been done it. Team players. Is Kyrie not doing that mean that he's not a team player?
I mean, here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody's got their own personal beliefs or opinions, but I personally feel like you should do what's best for the team if you really feel like you're part of that team, right? And if you're making as much money as Kyrie's making, you should probably be getting vaccinated and just go play. Or ask for a trade. Because I heard some people talk about, hey, trade him to a city where there's no vaccine requirement, and he can play the home games, and literally the only games he would miss would be games in New York and games in L.A. Because those are in Canada, I guess.
Yeah.
But those are the only places that have a vaccine requirement. So, I mean, I feel like he's got to – it's your own personal decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But also, they're paying you a lot of money to play games. And if you say I'm not playing no home games, that's what, half your schedule that you're not playing?
Yeah.
And then you try to say that you care about winning a championship and want to play. I mean, I just don't even see, like, the fire to want to play anymore in Kyrie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw it last year, to be honest. I mean, I think he's content with his career. So if he was to say, you know what, I don't want to play basketball anymore because he doesn't do. I mean, he's rich. He's going to be rich for the rest of his life. His kids are going to be rich. Their kids are going to be rich. He's made a lot of money, shoes. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to play basketball anymore. He says he still wants to play basketball. He says he still wants to play basketball. He doesn't want to retire, and he doesn't want to get traded. Those are the main. That's the main thing. He doesn't want to get traded, but he's not retiring from basketball. If he does get traded, will he retire from basketball? That's a different question. I've seen a lot of people saying trade him for Ben Simmons.
Well, I mean, it might be an even trade because Kyrie would only play, half the games until he decided he wanted to go on a sabbatical, and Ben Simmons scores like 10 points a game because he
how
can't
long
score.
is the NBA season? 82 games? It's like 82 games. So he would miss 40-ish games?
40 games. And that's not counting every game in L.A.
Yeah, because
and
they play LA.
Any game you play in Toronto.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
Yeah. Well,
so, I mean, yeah, it's a personal decision, I guess, but I feel like you got to be following the same rules as everybody else in your city.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your decision, but also it makes you look incredibly selfish, to be honest. I mean, everybody else on your team's doing what they need to do to play, and you're just not there. You're just a big anchor on their salary cap and the team.
Yeah.
But
speaking of LA, the Lakers, right now, who do you think is a better overall team, the Lakers or the struggling Nets?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's got to be the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, until somebody gets hurt or multiple people get hurt like last year, I mean, I feel like the Lakers definitely, I mean, and no Kyrie.
Yeah, no Kyrie.
For half the games. And he won't be playing in L.A. And if L.A.'s playing in Brooklyn, he won't be playing there either.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean,
he would miss those finals games.
Exactly.
Which is crazy.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, come on, man. But yeah, I'm Lakers now.
Man.
But with the age of that team, you're just going to have to figure out, first off, how well do they do game managing and spreading out that time?
Well, it looks not good because Russell Westbrook had 9 turnovers in a game. But I think a lot of them were back to back to back to back.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is playing time. Like, I want to know, like, how much can you get away with winning games without guys to try to keep them healthy for the end of the season? Because ultimately, you know where they're going. They're going to playoffs. Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I think they definitely prepared for AD not to play every game because he at this point it's not healthy enough to play every game. LeBron, we know he takes some games off just so he can be fully rested for that playoff run.
Yeah.
I think Russell will end up playing the most games. I think he has the most drive to play the most games. I think he's the most hungry out of all of them.
Right, but what I'm wanting to know is how's the team gonna?
I don't know.
Approach that.
I have no idea. They got Melo, and I think they're hyping up Melo a little bit. He's not the same Melo that we think he is.
But he's always going to be a shooter.
He's going to be a shooter. He's going to get them 10, 14 off the bench. or
I mean,
if he
yeah,
starts.
off the bench, man, he's killing it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gonna find a normal bench player out there nowhere near what Melo is.
Oh yeah, no, you're not gonna find that.
I mean, even in his old age, he's still dropping them.
Yeah.
So for me, man, it's got to be the Lakers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, if Kyrie's a for sure lock, we have a because Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is the best player in the league right now.
For sure.
Follow him with James Harden, one of the best playmakers in the league. Then you got Kyrie, which is one of the best one-on-one basketball players. Give him the ball, he's gonna get to the rack, he's gonna score. But for right now, I'm going to the Lakers. They're the safe pick. They're the safe pick. They're the pick you want to pick.
For sure.
Um,
Because then you got to say, well, can the Nets big two contend with the Lakers? Basically, 2012 All-Star team, I guess, or whatever it is.
I think they can, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to win more games in that series.
Because I mean, you got to look at KD too, man. Can he stay healthy? I mean, has that happened? Not much.
Yeah.
And if he's dropped out, what are the Nets?
Harden.
Exactly.
But Harden's done that before.
Houston, exactly. And look how that worked out.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to say. You got to have the way the league's built, man. You got to have that big three, dude. And if they're not humming on all cylinders, you're in trouble. I mean, let's just be honest. That or you got to have a lot of youth and get lucky in the draft. I mean, you got some really good young players out there, but I mean, I feel like it's Lakers Nets, and I think it's Lakers right now, but we'll reevaluate that in a couple months and see where they're at.
Yeah, we'll see where that. We'll see where that. Yeah. Speaking of Lakers, LeBron James, one of the best basketball players of all time. Is he, in your opinion, the best basketball player of all time, up there with Jordan?
Oh man, look. This is where my old guys are about to come in, okay? LeBron's a beast.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not going to deny that. But seeing Jordan play in person, I don't think there's any player like him. And I feel like that because I don't feel like any player had the drive that Jordan had. I feel like Jordan would have chopped off his right foot to win a game. Do I feel like LeBron would do that? No. I don't know that LeBron has that, like, killer instinct that Jordan had, right? I don't feel like he has that aggressiveness as far as just not even – I feel like if Jordan played somebody, he legitimately didn't like them.
Yeah.
And I feel like LeBron's friendly with everybody. And I don't feel like, at the end of the day, I don't feel like the game matters more than everything else to LeBron. But Jordan, I feel like the game mattered more than anything else at all times, right? Yeah. Until he lost his dad, that was the only thing that mattered. So for me, it's Jordan. But I understand the LeBron side of it because LeBron physically, I don't know that anybody's ever been what he is, just physically, as far as being able to shoot from range, drive, play defense. The dude's like an absolute monster all around. And I think that's why that comparison's there. I mean, Jordan was the same way. I mean, the dude in his prime was an absolute monster in all phases. I mean, the dude rebounded, the dude blocked shots.
Played defense
really well, which most NBA players don't do now. So it's hard to compare them because you're coming from like two totally different mindsets on basketball.
Yeah.
Because now it's just score, score, score. How much can we score? Let's get to 140 and we're going to win, right? That was not the mentality in the 90s. It was how much defense can we play to keep this other team out of it. So, I mean, I'm going Jordan, but what do you think?
But whenever someone asks me this, my friends ask me this, whenever someone on my channel asks me this, I say they're two different type of players. LeBron in crunch time is trying to make the right play. Jordan in crunch time is making the play.
Yeah, you're right.
Michael Jordan, and like you said with players in the offseason, Jordan wasn't practicing with anyone in the offseason. He wasn't hanging out with anyone in the offseason. He was working on himself. You see Jordan taking pictures you see LeBron taking pictures with people not on his team. You see them, playing together, practicing together. It was way more personal back in the day. But I still will always I would go Jordan for a while. when LeBron won that ring against Miami, some people say it's the fluke ring. It's the fluke ring. It's the Mickey Mouse ring.
Right.
That Heat team was good in my opinion. That Heat team
was out of
was
control. Are you kidding me?
Jimmy Butler was good. Let's just say that. LeBron now has one with Cleveland, 2 on Miami, and 1 with LA. So he has 4 now. Jordan has 6. If LeBron can get to, I'll say if he gets to 5 or 6, and he's closing out, getting the points, he's putting up things where it's like, wow, that player, not knowing the names, that player has done a lot. This player has done a lot. But this guy has accomplished every single thing except for winning a Defensive Player of the Year, which at this age I don't think LeBron can do.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, for me, it will still be Jordan, but that answer for me can definitely change. I think LeBron still has more to give. He's 36, 37. I think he can still play pretty good basketball. He looks amazing. He's still in incredible shape. He's still the same LeBron. I mean, like, you see no regression from him. You've never seen, you see Tom Brady now make some passes that I think he would have definitely hit when he was younger. But, I mean, LeBron is not missing the dunks. He's not shooting terrible. He's not making the right pass. LeBron is still playing like he's in his prime, which is crazy. I think people need to appreciate LeBron's greatness now and not wait until he's retired, because that time is definitely going to come eventually.
Well, I think part of the hang on LeBron is, I think LeBron's kind of like the evil empire, man. He's kind of like the Patriots, right, in their prime. I mean, like, everybody loves to hate him because the dude's in the finals all the time. So he's real easy to root against because he's in the finals all the time. I mean, like, how weird is it if you're watching the finals and he ain't in there?
It's weird.
That's what I'm saying. That's a standard, but I think that there's a lot of hate there because it's easy to hate. It's like he's the heel, man. Like, you gotta have a bad guy.
Well, he was the bad guy with the Heat for sure. People hated him for that.
Sure.
It calmed down when he went back to Cleveland. He won a ring for Cleveland, and I don't think I think what people get most at about LeBron is his fans, because the fans that will say LeBron's better than Jordan, you ask them why, they say he just is. And I mean, LeBron's a good player. LeBron is a great player. He is number 2 for me right now. He is number 2. Jordan's 1. LeBron is 2. But it's not a lock that Jordan is 1. I think it can change with LeBron getting one more ring and getting that first spot of most points of all time, which I think he can do.
Oh yeah, for sure, especially if he plays enough time.
Yeah.
So I think we got maybe one more topic. I think we're going to go into some boxing, which is this is Gideon's forte, but I'm going to try to hang in here as much as I can. So we're going to talk about Jake Paul, everybody's favorite topic when it comes to boxing.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask, does anybody think that Jake Paul's good for boxing, or is he bad for the sport, or where does he fit in this whole in the sport of boxing?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna defer to Gideon to get this topic started, since I know he's a boxing guy. So we're gonna see what he has to say about it.
As much as it would pay me to say this and pains a lot of people to say it, he's absolutely amazing for boxing. When was the last time there were this much eyes on a boxer and boxing in general? It's been a while. It's been Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and then all the way back in the day, Muhammad Ali.
It's probably Pacquiao Mayweather.
Yeah, Pacquiao Mayweather.
Last time that there was that much hype around a boxing match.
Yeah, you have that one, and then you have Mayweather and Conor McGregor. But
I don't know, Tyson. This last Tyson Fury fight.
Oh yeah, Tyson Fury
was all over that.
Yeah, I'll say this about Jake Paul. Jake Paul is doing incredible numbers. I mean, a million pay-per-view buys guaranteed with Jake Paul is on that card. And I mean, you look at the competition he's facing. Nate Robinson, basketball player, not a good boxer. He won it, but it's not it's a real win, but it's like he was a boxing player. I mean, he was a basketball player that you can tell has never got in the ring, never sparred. I mean, he didn't look that good. Then he goes out, he beats Ben Askren, a UFC fighter, a wrestler. Let's get that out of the way first. He's a wrestler. He knocks him out first round. And then goes out there, beats Tyron Woodley. Was Tyron Woodley the best opponent for him to pick? Absolutely. That was the best opponent for him to pick because, one, Woodley doesn't throw many strikes. Woodley is older. and Woodley has that name that's gonna go well with Jake Paul. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley is a great seller. So yes, Jake Paul is good for boxing, and especially if he fights uh, Tommy Fury, um, Fury's younger brother. That's going to do a lot of pay-per-view buys as well. Jake Paul is essentially the Conor McGregor of boxing. Everyone hates him, but they're going to go watch
Okay.
him.
Counterpoint?
Counterpoint.
Okay, counterpoint. Okay. Jake Paul is a terrible boxer.
Mm.
And he fights people that he knows that he can win against so that he can continue to make money. Don't get me wrong. I feel like Jake Paul's great at making money, but is he good at boxing? No, he's not. And I feel like if he ever fought someone who was actually good at boxing, he would get destroyed. Now, would he make a lot of money when he did that? Absolutely. But I feel like he's stringing. What Jake Paul's good at is stringing along people who are buying these pay-per-views, right? So he's like, let me fight someone maybe a half a click better than the last person I fought so that I can continue this as long as possible and be as rich as possible by the time I get to the end of it, and then I'll fight someone real and I'll get knocked out and I can be done. But I'll never have to work again. So, I mean, is he good for boxing? Is he making people watch it? Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, if you're like a boxing purist, is he good for boxing? I don't think so. I mean, he's just throwing out terrible matches left and right. His undercards are better fights than his. So, I mean, I guess if he's promoting younger boxers to roll into these undercards, yeah, in that case, he's good for boxing. I mean, he's throwing money at them so they can keep getting better at their sport. But
Yeah, well, like you said, he's doing a lot for fighters. I mean, his take on fighter pay needing to go up is absolutely true, and he's done a lot to help that. You know, because he's the guy that's paying those guys.
yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
he's paying those guys the money they deserve, the money that Dana White's not giving the people in the UFC. Why those UFC fighters are then going to the boxing ring, Jake Paul, so they can be financially secure for the rest of their life.
You're right. And that'll be another topic we can talk about.
Yeah,
Fighter pay in the UFC,
fighter
but
pay, yeah.
we're not going to get on that right now.
Yeah, right now that's another hour.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we've got for the first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're also going to be starting a podcast as well. It'll be on podcast as well as on YouTube. So we'll throw those links in here once we get everything posted up. But hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.